Good morning, Stanton. Just playing around in the verse, flying around, doing some fun things, and while doing that, I thought I would talk about the upcoming 3.17 patch. I haven't really talked about this, but it is coming soon. I don't know when, but hopefully soon. Entering the PU maybe in about a week, I would guess, but we're not quite sure on that. Who knows? Maybe by the time this video comes out, it will actually be out for playtesting for at least Wave 1. But I'm just excited about this. On the surface, this does not look like a very uh, exciting patch. A lot of things I was hoping for, like the personal hangers, some salvage, is not here, not available quite yet. But cargo refractor is still missing. So you're looking at this and really doesn't look like there's going to be a lot happening. And yet, when you get into it, there's going to be some awesome, amazing stuff. Not just a new coffee shop vendor in Area 18, which I'm sure we are all excited for. Can't wait. There's much more happening. So I'm going to kind of go through at least a few of the things coming up, landing on what I think, in my mind, is the big game changer of this new patch. So the first thing we're going to look at is that there's going to be some changes in weapons. So while I'm here doing some bunker missions, fighting, things are going to change. Really, they're going to add some changes to the animation just to make it look a little bit smoother when you're using the guns. That'll be kind of cool. But they're also changing the sway and recoil of the guns and doing what they call balancing, making the guns feel heavier, making them behave a little bit different, which I think is cool. It's going to change a lot, but it's definitely going to make some of the guns that people are using the most maybe used a little less. It's going to change them. They're also changing turrets. Now that's something that's not really going to affect me because I very, very, very rarely have ever used turrets, but they're changing them to make them kind of have a smoother acceleration, a more realistic acceleration than going full tilt left and right, which I think is cool. I think, although if you have ships that have artificial gravity, maybe you could kind of move them a little faster than you would normally. They're doing player injury polish pass, and they're going to change what they call the bleed actor state. Both of these I think is cool, especially for someone doing missions where they're getting shot, especially the bleed actor state. What that means is like you're bleeding out, you're taking injury, and you're bleeding, you're needing to use one of the med pens. If you got a bleeding wound in your leg, in your arm, they would stack and they would almost multiply, and people are bleeding out extremely quick. So this is hopefully going to slow it down. It's also going to say if you got shot in the arm and they get shot in the arm again, maybe the injury would be a little more severe the second time. All this, I think, is a really cool thing for them to be working on. A huge change that people are going to have to get used to is persistent hunger and thirst. What that means is your character right now, hardly anyone eats. I hardly eat. If I'm doing some rock mining, I'll maybe bring some water if I'm overheating, just to like get my thirst down. Very rarely have I really needed water and food, but now you're going to get hungry. So before, if you've finished playing for the day and you log off, every time you log on, you're fully fresh, ready to go. All your hunger and thirst is gone. From what I understand, if you are hungry when you go to sleep, you're going to be hungry when you wake up. That's going to be the new change, and you're going to have to go get yourself some food. Luckily, finding fruit and different items to eat and loot crates is still pretty easy, or food itself is relatively cheap. So it's not going to be a huge issue, but it's going to be where the realism in this game is going for. The reason why there's food around there is because people need the food. I do kind of wish they'd had things like the vending machines working. That would be awesome, but they are not. But at least, as I said, coffee. You can go get coffee in our Area 18 and quench your thirst. A huge, huge change is the ship positional desync issues. They're working on that, so hopefully ships aren't bouncing around when you're trying to shoot them all the time. They're working on the ship desync. They're going to be working on new head textures and how you design your character. Now, there's still no news on wipes, whether a wipe's going to be happening, whether there's going to be a partial wipe or a full wipe. I would say absolutely not for a full wipe. Partial wipe, I even don't think there's really going to be much in that way. I think you're going to keep your money, I think you're going to keep your inventory, and I think you're going to keep your reputation. I may be wrong on one of those, but I'm definitely not wrong on all of them. So I can tell you that there's going to be at least something as a holdover. They're making some changes to space station clinics as well. So I don't know what that means. Maybe they're just adding some more that I didn't realize were there. Ooh, one thing I forgot. When I was talking about there's going to be no wipe, there's definitely going to be a wipe of your character. That's what I was getting at with the head DNA. So although you're going to maybe still have all your items, as usual, every time you're going to have to choose a new starting location, or at least choose your starting location, your home base, and you're going to have to make a new character, change your face, but you're going to have a lot more options. I wonder if beards will be there. I doubt it, but that'd be kind of cool if it was. There's going to be a new hospital in Lorville, the Maria Pier of Heart. That's going to be around, and I'm happy for that because there's something I've been waiting to do in this game, a new small series that I'm going to start in Lorville. Not really a small series, but just a fairly simple one. And I've been waiting for the hospital to be built before I start it. So once that's in, I'm going to be able to start that. There's going to be a river, the first river singular in Microtech. That's going to be there. And that's just kind of the initial river tech being put in the game so that people can kind of enjoy it and see it, and they can get all the bugs ironed out before they start putting rivers in more places. I think they're also going to have clouds moved over from the clouds that have been in like Microtech and putting some clouds on Hurston. To me, they kind of look a little bit weird, but Hurston already looks weird because the city is, that high and that visible from space that the clouds are getting even higher. But when you're flying around ground level, it's going to be kind of cool. Ship-to-ship refueling is coming. That'll be kind of cool as well. I'm not really sure how it's going to work or how useful it's going to be. I also know they're changing some of the fuel scoops and how they work for hydrogen, forcing people to have to refuel a little bit more and not being able to quite easily suck in some fuel. So we're going to have to see about that. And mining is changing because they're adding the mining gadgets, these items that you actually physically put on a boulder before you start mining. I hope that if they're working on those mining gadgets, maybe they'll fix the extraction beam from the rock and scanning for the prospector and the mole. I doubt it, but it'd be kind of nice if they fix that asteroids are unscannable while they're at it. So we can kind of hope on that. The last kind of couple things is item sales. Of course, this is huge. The fact that you can sell items to shops, and they've kind of shown how that works, where the prices of items depends on whether they're in stock, whether they're in demand, and whether the place sells them. But you're looking at a low price of about half the cost of buying something new, which isn't bad still if you're gathering a bunch of armor and guns and you're able to find a place to sell them from a mission. It's going to be still a nice little bonus to add on to whatever you're getting paid to do those missions. So selling items, or if you accidentally buy a certain number of things from a store, then you're going to have to be able, you can sell them back. If you remember, luckily it was during the PTU when I accidentally bought the max amount of Pembroke suits that were available. I think about 10 million worth. If it wasn't in the PTU, and if it wasn't money that was just given to me for testing, and it was my real money, I would have lost it. That was all gone, and I'd have all the suits. So I'm happy that if you accidentally buy things, although the max buy button is still a little bit ridiculous because it's so easy to accidentally max buy something. But maybe maybe shops will have a limited stock, so a max buy really won't be that much unless you continue to buy, waiting for them to restock every 15 minutes or so. So that'd be kind of interesting. And we're leaving now on this. I don't want to make this video too long because there's so much information coming out on 3.17, and I could talk more about what's coming out later, but there's something coming up that is going to be a game changer. It is something that I am so excited about that it's going to be in, and it is something that I don't think I'm the only one who has been waiting for this forever. And that is the ability, now mind you, it's not going to be in the game by default. You're going to have to add it as a key bind, but you can bind a key to call ATC for a request for landing. No more trying to use your MFDs when they're all kind of glitched out, not working. No more having to go in your Moby Glass and then go to your friends list and then choose the name of the station and request a landing. There's going to be the ability to key bind a request for landing to a key on your keyboard. That is the smallest, yet in some way biggest change coming out in 3.17. It is something that when I saw, I was just thinking, this is great. This is finally something that's going to happen. Something that should have happened, admittedly, years ago, but it's coming in the game now. So that's it. 317 on its way. Little things, but they're all adding up to make this a pretty cool patch for the first quarter of the year. So until next time, let's look forward to 317. I'm going to keep you updated because I still don't know when it comes out if there's going to be referral bonus. We still don't know when it's coming out. We can hope it's fairly soon. But when I find out any of those items, you can subscribe here and I'll get it back to you as soon as possible. So thanks for watching. Goodbye.